Episode 169 of Battle Through the Heavens, the long-awaited moment finally arrives. Xiao Yan emerges from his 100 reincarnations of cultivation under the ancient Bodhi tree. The instant he steps out of seclusion, his aura surges to a whole new level. In one sweep, Xiao Yan skyrockets from a 9-star Dou Zun straight into a 9-turn Dou Zun, an advancement so overwhelming that even seasoned powerhouses are left stunned. Fresh from this breakthrough, Xiao Yan doesn't hesitate for a second. When Soul Clan's 8-turn Dou Zun, Soul Jade, tries to provoke him, Xiao Yan responds with a single devastating strike, crippling him instantly. The 9 Sky Phoenixes of the Sky Demon Phoenix clan tremble in disbelief. None of them expected Xiao Yan's strength to be this terrifying. But before anyone can even breathe, Soul Jade summons reinforcements. With his call, the air grows heavy as the semi-saint powerhouse of the Soul Clan, the Bone Ghost Saint, descends onto the battlefield. The 9 Phoenixes seal the surrounding space, tightening the noose around Xiao Yan and his allies. For a moment, the situation looks dire. And yet, Xiao Yan's gaze never wavers. Calmly, he gathers his 5 colored flames into a lotus, each petal pulsing with destructive power. When he throws it forward, the Fire Lotus drifts gracefully across the sky, but everywhere it passes, the fabric of space collapses into silence, leaving behind a black trail of nothingness. Sensing the lethal danger, the Bone Ghost Saint roars and unleashes his most terrifying defense. Countless screaming souls condense into a thick black mist, forming a bone armor carved with agonized faces across his skeleton body. The two forces collide, fire and bone, destruction against despair. At first, there is silence. Then, with an earth-shaking roar, the entire world trembles. The 9 Sky Phoenixes are sent flying, spitting blood, as even they cannot withstand the aftershock. The crowd watches in disbelief, unable to accept that this was a single strike from the newly advanced 9-turn Dou Zun Xiao Yan. When the flames clear, the Bone Ghost Saint is still standing. The Soul Clan warriors begin to cheer, until the bone armor begins to crumble, piece by piece, turning into ash along with parts of his skeleton. Blood sprays from his mouth, his aura collapses, and though he manages to stabilize himself with a soul transfer, he is clearly on the brink of collapse. Furious, the Bone Ghost Saint still refuses to admit defeat. With killing intent boiling in his eyes, he lunges once more at Xiao Yan. But Xiao Yan, glowing in golden light, charges straight into him, his golden fist tearing through the air with hurricane force. Even injured, the Bone Ghost Saint shows his semi-saint power, countering with a backhand that leaves a deep palm print upon Xiao Yan's fist. Just as he prepares to unleash one final desperate move to capture Xiao Yan, the very space itself splits apart. From the crack in the void, an old figure steps out, his majestic voice ringing across the battlefield as he rebukes the Bone Ghost Saint for lowering himself to attack the younger generation. It is none other than Yao Chen, Xiao Yan's revered teacher, arriving just in time. Xiao Yan is stunned, for he never even sent a distress signal. But Yao Lao, worried for his disciple, had quietly come to check on him. Now, seeing how much Xiao Yan has grown under the Bodhi tree, pride flashes in his eyes. Without hesitation, he scolds the Soul Clan elder Gu Yu, declaring it disgraceful for a man of his status to bully the young. Gu Yu sneers, claiming that the Soul Palace has always used any means necessary to achieve its goals. But deep down, he knows his condition is weak and his odds of victory slim. Trying to bluff, he threatens to summon more Soul Clan reinforcements, but at that very moment, Suna reveals her hand. She activates a space scroll and summons Elder Tongxian of the Ancient Clan to the battlefield. The balance of power shifts instantly. Elder Tongxian warmly greets Xiao Yan and Yao Chen, praising Xiao Yan's progress before turning his sharp gaze upon the Soul Clan. After hearing the report from Gu Qingyong, Tongxian expresses his disgust at the Soul Clan's arrogance. With 2 semi-saint powerhouses standing together, Gu Yu realizes the tide has completely turned. Even if he summoned more reinforcements, the Ancient Clan would simply respond in kind, exposing the Soul Clan's true strength far too early. Reluctantly, he orders a retreat, but not before leaving Xiao Yan and Yao Chen with a chilling warning that the Soul Palace will never let Xingyun Pavilion go. Yao Lao, however, responds firmly that Xingyun Pavilion is prepared for whatever comes. With the Soul Palace and the Sky Demon Phoenix clan withdrawing, Xiao Yan feels a pang of regret for not inflicting heavier losses. Still, he knows this outcome was the most reasonable. Elder Tongxian advises them to return quickly now that the Bodhi Ancient Tree affair is over, and before leaving, Suna softly warns Xiao Yan to stay vigilant against the Soul Clan's revenge. Returning to Xingyun Pavilion, Xiao Yan reflects on the immense harvest of this trip, the Bodhi heart now dwelling within him, and 11 pure Bodhi seeds, treasures so precious that countless peak Dou Zun would kill for them. Yet what satisfies him most is that Soul Jade, after all his scheming, has returned empty-handed. But there's no time to relax. Xiao Yan knows he must prepare for the next step, breaking through to the semi-saint realm. Together with Yao Lao, he spends weeks preparing, adjusting his state, and collecting rare elixirs. Yao Lao even refines a Bodhi pill from the Bodhi seeds, exhausting himself in the process. Though it only drew 8 colored pill thunder, combined with the Bodhi heart, it is enough to help Xiao Yan break through. Seeing his master's worn face, Xiao Yan feels a wave of warmth and gratitude. Yao Lao has always silently sacrificed for him, but the old man only smiles faintly, urging him to focus on his cultivation. After all, if Xiao Yan cannot reach semi-saint, he will stand no chance against the pure lotus demon fire 3 years from now. Hearing this, Xiao Yan clenches his fists with determination. The battle with the Soul Clan is far from over, and only by claiming the pure lotus demon fire will he truly have the strength to face them head-on. Before Xiao Yan entered his long retreat, he handed Yao Lao a jade bottle sealed with Hanfeng's soul. Seeing the traitor he had once treated like his own son, Yao Lao's expression was filled with complicated emotions. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan carried the jade box into the secluded chamber, and as the heavy stone door rumbled shut behind him, Yao Lao could only sigh softly and lead everyone away. None of them could have expected that this retreat would last not just months, but a full 2 years. At first, the members of Xingyun Pavilion eagerly awaited Xiao Yan's breakthrough. With the Bodhi heart and the Bodhi pill aiding him, even Yao Lao estimated that it shouldn't take more than a year for Xiao Yan to advance into the semi-saint realm. But as the seasons changed, moss and weeds began to cover the sealed stone gate, and still, there was no sign of movement. The once hopeful wait gradually shifted into quiet unease. Though some began to worry, Yao Lao could sense Xiao Yan's steady yet transforming aura deep within the mountain, and this kept his faith unshaken. For Xingyun Pavilion, those 2 years were anything but calm. With Yao Lao refining Bodhi pills, countless peak Dou Zun experts emerged from hiding, flocking to the sect to serve as guest elders in exchange for a chance at the pill. This created a virtuous cycle, making Xingyun Pavilion stronger than ever. But strength breeds jealousy. The Tianming sect, uneasy at Xingyun Pavilion's rapid rise, united with Glacier Valley, Fenglei Pavilion, and others to form the so-called Minghe League. Their armies clashed fiercely with Xingyun Pavilion, and although the situation once seemed unfavorable, Yao Lao's presence as a high-level semi-saint turned the tide. The Minghe League retreated in embarrassment, while Xingyun Pavilion's reputation only soared higher. Still, peace never lasts long. A shocking piece of news soon shook all of Zhongzhou. The Ling Clan, one of the ancient races, had mysteriously vanished. When their spiritual space reopened, there was nothing left but silence. Millions of members, gone without a trace. The entire clan had simply disappeared. Speculations spread like wildfire. Some whispered they had been annihilated, but who in Zhongzhou had the power to erase an entire ancient clan in complete secrecy? Others suggested migration, but how could millions move without leaving a single trail? Among the ancient clans, one theory stood out, that the massacre was tied to the Tuasha ancient Emperor Jade. Whoever wanted to gather all 8 pieces must have struck at the Ling Clan. And when it came to power, only the ancient clan or the Soul Clan could have done such a thing. This suspicion created ripples of mistrust, and Zhongzhou fell into even deeper chaos. Meanwhile, back in Xingyun Pavilion, time slipped by, and still the stone gate remained sealed. Nearly 2 years had passed. The initial anticipation in the sect slowly turned into quiet despair. Some guest elders even began to murmur that Xiao Yan's retreat might have failed. But every night, Yao Lao stood on the hilltop, looking at that silent stone gate. He had seen Xiao Yan grow from a weak boy into a man who could stand against the world, and in his heart, he firmly believed this disciple would not fail. Yet the world outside was moving. The tension between the ancient clans kept rising, the mystery of the Ling Clan remained unsolved, and the Minghe League still clashed with Xingyun Pavilion on the surface. Then came the spark that set everything aflame, a bloody challenge letter delivered straight to Xingyun Pavilion's gates. The Minghe League was openly demanding a decisive showdown at Xingyun Pavilion headquarters, just half a month away. This bold move immediately raised Yao Lao's suspicions. Though the Tianming sect was powerful, even their supreme elder could only fight him to a stalemate at best. For them to suddenly demand battle meant they had absolute confidence in victory, and that could only mean some hidden card was in play. Without delay, Yao Lao issued orders, recall all the elders, strengthen city defenses, and send spies to dig into the Minghe League secrets. Kai Lin, who had risen to become a true pillar of Xingyun Pavilion during these 2 years, carried out the commands swiftly. Her strength had already reached the peak of Dou Zun, and her sharp, decisive methods won her the respect of the sect's elders. Still, whenever she looked at that moss-covered stone gate, a flicker of unease would pass through her eyes. Yao Lao's reassurances that Xiao Yan would emerge soon had gone on too long. And then, in the middle of all this tension, something finally happened. On the weathered stone gate of Xiao Yan's chamber, a faint crack appeared. It was so small, almost invisible, and no one noticed. But that tiny line was like the first ray of dawn piercing through endless night. Behind it, power was slowly gathering, pressing outward, waiting for the moment to burst forth. As Xingyun Pavilion prepared for the greatest battle in its history, tightening its defenses like a bow drawn to full strength, the hidden cracks spread quietly. Soon, the long wait would end. Xiao Yan's return was drawing near.